gamers, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the new Metalmorph stuff that is coming to the game, or might even already be out by the time you're watching this video. At the time of recording, the set is not out yet. I'm trying to just get at least one little preparation video out. Normally I would have dropped more to show you more decks, but I've been sick these past few days. Might even sound weird in this video, so I've been resting most of the day, but I want to at least get the Metalmorph stuff out because this is definitely the engine I'm most excited for. So functionally, it is basically Red Eye support in a way, but it's also something you can use as its own kind of deck. Like as an engine, you can run with other engine type decks. It's just something you'll see added to a lot of piles essentially. So what it is you have these two boss monsters here, Metal Zoa X and Red Eye's Black Full Metal Dragon. Both of these cards you can basically reveal in your hand, shuffle them into the deck, and set one of your Metalmorph traps from your deck. If you're only running one of them, you'll mostly be setting the Max Metalmorph. This allows you to tribute a face-up monster and special summon one of these two guys basically from your deck. If you want to summon Metal Zoa, you have to tribute a level 5 or higher Fiend, and if you want to summon the Black Full Metal Dragon, you have to summon tribute a level 5 or higher Dragon. This is an Omni Negate, and when it's summoned with Max Metalmorph, it will also be indestructible and untargetable by both spell and monster effects, making it even a pseudo towers on top of being a once per turn Omni Negate. Metal Zoa, on the other hand, is a twice per turn quick effect destroy a face up monster if your opponent activates a card effect. So you get 2 pops off of this card, and just like the Red Eyes, if it's equipped with this, it's going to be untargetable and indestructible by monster and spell effects. So really strong stuff. If you're running a bigger package, you'll also be running probably the second trap here, Flame Coating Metalmorph. This one has to tribute a monster that mentions Max Metalmorph on it. So normally in certain decks you might like summon the Metal Zoa first with this trap, and then once you've used up your 2 pops, you might go for the Flame Coating Metalmorph, tribute your Metal Zoa, and summon the Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon, or vice versa depending on the deck you're playing the engine in. For other interesting things about the engine, we have this really strong normal summon Metal Illusionist. This is a level 1 light monster, and it could change its own type. So this is a light fiend when you need it to be. So essentially this card gives you access to Fiendsmith lines. It also gains 4 stars during your opponent's turn. So essentially worst case scenario, you could always just go Metal Illusionist. On summon, it will set Max Metalmorph or Flame Coating, whichever one you need from your deck, and then on opponent's turn, it'll be level 5, and during your own turn you could have changed its type to Dragon if you needed to make a Black Full Metal with it, or you could have changed its type to Fiend to go Metal Zoa. So this card is actually a super strong play, for example, into Max C. If you summon this card and you make it a Fiend, your opponent might opt to go Max C, anticipating that you're going to go, Fiendsmith combo. But you could just not do that and just pass, summon Metal Zoa. This is 2 interruptions on its own, and the decks you're going to be playing this engine in are likely to have a lot of hand traps and stuff like that. So you can do a lot of really good mid-range stuff with this engine. Next, we have Zoa, the Fiendish Beast. This one I would say is not as good. It's a level 7. You can special summon from your hand for free. So I guess in rank 7 decks it might be useful. Well, it's for free. You special it from your hand, and then it allows your opponent to special summon a monster from their hand, which I think is not bad. Like, I don't think it's that big of a cost, all things considered. And then it sets a Metalmorph card from your deck, so trap from your deck. So I mean, yeah, you can special him, set this, and then on opponent's turn go for this trap, summon Metal Zoa, but I think it's unlikely you're going to play this. Red Eye's Metal Claw Dragon is a really strong card, but I don't think this is going to be released yet. This came out later, so I don't even think this is worth talking about. Honestly, it's like 90% not even going to be in the game. Incoming Machine is a very generic, very good searcher. You can add any monster that mentions Max Metalmorph or 1 Metalmorph trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So solid searcher spell. You're likely not going to be playing this if you're just using the engine, but if you're playing a deck that's more focused on the Metalmorph stuff, you might run Incoming Machine. I forgot to include the Metal Flame Swordsman. This card, you can reveal it in your hand and add any card that mentions Max Metalmorph from your deck to your hand, and then shuffle this card back into the deck. It's fine. It's not as good of a boss monster as the other ones. It has the same summoning condition, of tributing a level 5 or higher warrior. As a boss monster, not great, but as a searcher, quite solid, though I don't think you'll be running this or this or this very often. I think these 5 cards are more likely to be what we're going to be playing with. And let me add to that list the Black Metal Dragon. This card is a normal summon that you can, link off for a bunch of different link ones. For example, the Blue Eyes link one or the Striker Dragon link one, and it allows you to search the Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. Additionally, you can search Darkness, and what you can do is you can go like link one with this, search Darkness Metal Dragon, banish to link one, summon back the Black Metal Dragon, make a Hieratic Seal, and search the Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. That is 3 interruptions off of just the normal summon of Black Metal Dragon, not counting any gas you might have in hand, not counting any hand traps. So this card on its own with this engine is essentially 3 interruptions, pretty mid-rangey. So I've got 2 decks that I'm going to show you very quickly here today. I don't want to take too much time on just the cards. I don't want this video to be very long. I want this to just be an introduction to the Metalmorph archetype. So 2 decks. This one I kind of built myself and I spent a lot of time on and I really like it. It's Red Eyes Bystial. I'm not even going to call it Dragon Link because when people hear Dragon Link, they think of rockets, but as you can see, there's no rockets in this deck. It's really it is a lot of dragons. It's a lot of linking. I think it should count as Dragon Link, but whatever. No rockets. It's Red Eyes Bystial. It's running so many hand traps, and the Bystials count for that too. The Bystials make for a lot of hand traps, so it's very, very likely to see hand traps when you're going second, and even going first. A lot of the time you'll be passing on very minimal boards, and just playing with mostly hand traps, kind of like Bystial hand trap deck, but with the added engine of Red Eyes Black Full Metal off of your normal summon of Black Metal Dragon, or you have other good starters like Seifert. But I've been really enjoying this build. I think it's really good. The other deck I'm going to be showing is the Fiendsmith Metalmorph deck. And this deck is also really crazy. As you can see, this is more so just a pile of engines. It still has, I believe, 15 plus 3 Bystials, so technically 18 hand traps. So still technically kind of just a hand trap deck, but with the added, benefits of having a bunch of engines that can get into plays. It's not every single game that you'll be going into all of your engines, but all the engines kind of help serve into each other and help each other out at building pretty strong boards. So either way, I don't want to beat around the bush too much here, but I will say both of these builds are really solid. So, without going card by card, if you want to copy these lists, just feel free to, take a look at them when the cards come out until I make like more official deck profiles. I think these are going to be good starters, just good places to start essentially for Metalmorph. But I've got like 5 replays that I want to show you here today. So we're going to start off with the Red Eyes deck. So here I have I'm going to show you the 1-card combo with just Black Metal Dragon and only hand traps in the hand. So this is really just to show you how you set up the 3 interruptions. I already kind of mentioned this earlier, unless I cut it out of the video. So as you can see, 2 nibs, 2 imperms. If you only have 1 piece of engine, it's very likely that the rest of the cards in your hand are going to be hand traps in this deck, right? So most of the time, if you're bricked on setting up a very small interaction board, it really means that you have a lot of other interactions in your hand instead. Anyway, so here we go. So we normal summon our Black Metal Dragon. We can link into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. And this might seem a little random, but essentially, Spirit with Eyes of Blue, I did add the Mausoleum into the deck, mostly because this plays around Ash Blossom really well. You can go Chainlink 1 Black Metal Dragon, Chainlink 2 Spirit with Eyes of Blue, search the Mausoleum of White, and it kind of stops your opponent from being able to at least Ash the Black Metal Dragon. So if they have Ash Blossom, it's possible to use it on Spirit just because it's a good Ash target against Blue Eyes, and they might think you're playing Blue Eyes at this point because you actually can run this package in Blue Eyes, and some people probably will. But even if they don't Ash it, just the fact that they hold their Ash makes it so you can at least set up a little bit more than just getting ashed on your Black Metal Dragon and passing on just Spirit, right? Spirit adds the field spell. Not super essential in our deck, but it does have its uses. We go for Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, banish the Blue Eyes, set up the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Red Eyes Darkness, bring back the Black Metal, use these 2, go into Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, and then we get the Black Metal Dragon to grab the Red Eyes Black Full Metal. Black Full Metal can reveal itself to set the max Metalmorph from the deck, and there we go. That's the combo, okay? So with no extenders whatsoever, that's what your combo looks like. It might not seem crazy, but keep in mind, most of the time, like I said, if you don't have extenders, it means you have hand traps. So it's not like you're actually passing on just 3 interruptions. You're actually, here I'm passing on 6 interruptions. I'm passing on a Nibiru, 2 Imperms, a Hieratic Seal, a Metalmorph, and I also get like Druid Swarm on opponent's turn for an extra removal. So like that's pretty good. So we set 2 Emperors, you know, we pass turn here. I'm going to show a bit of my interaction. Not going to take too long because I'm just playing against like a super heavy samurai bot here. But yeah, they go for the effect of Prodigy Wakaushi. It's a hard once per turn. So I respond with my my Heavenly Spheres. Heavenly Spheres contribute itself to bounce the Wakaushi so they don't get the effect. Then I get my effect here to summon a Bystial Druid Swarm. They're going to summon Wakaushi again. That's whatever. They go for Soul Piercer, Tribute Soul Piercer to make the super heavy Scarecrow. So at this point, you know, I can go for Max Metalmorph, send my Druid Swarm to the grave. And because Druid Swarm went from field to grave, I get the removal, of course. So I get to just remove the Link monster with Druid Swarm. So Druid Swarm effect here. Get to remove the Link. And now we still have an Omni-Negate. We still have, you know, our hand traps that are like right there, you know, can interrupt a bunch of plays. So even on a very like low interaction board, usually you have other interactions, which makes this quite solid. So you basically get the idea for like the smaller combo. Now I'm just going to go show you like a normal hand with extenders and everything, like the regular plays you would be doing. By the way, because people always ask, this is not Master Duel, this is MD Pro 3. It's like a simulator of Master Duel, right? So here we go. So here we have, you know, Black Metal, we have a hand trap, we have Regain in hand, Collapse Serpent, Bystial Lubellion. This is more like a normal hand you might see. It's not every hand is going to look like this, but it's a more like regular hand, you know, a little bit of extension, a little bit of hand trap. So we start off with Lubellion here. We can go for our Magnamut, normal summon metal. We go into Spirit, and we go Chain Link 2, Spirit with Eyes of Blue to protect so they can't Ash our Black Metal Dragon. Grab the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, bring back the Black Dragon here, and I'm going to go Lubellion. At this point, by the way, this is my 5th summon. I just want to point out that this is kind of nib safe. If they went nib on my 5th summon of Lubellion just to stop me from like getting regained, for example, I had more extenders to keep going here. And I would get the effect of Black Metal Dragon from being tributed by Nibiru to search my Black Full Metal and, you know, set up my trap, summon Magnamut. I'd still get to set up quite a bit, set up my Hieratic Seal, my whole, you know, shtick, basically, even if they went Nibiru here. So it's not like fully nib safe of a line, but like if they nibbed here, I'd be fine. So anyway, set up the Branded Beast since I already had regained. We go for Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. And then we're gonna go for Black Metal, add the Red Eyes of Black Full Metal set here. So here we go, Magnamut. Here I'm gonna full combo at this point is like, yeah, if they Nibiru me at any given point here, I'm just kind of taking the L, you know. But I'm gonna banish my Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, shuffle it into the deck to get a draw into Valor. And this is pretty interesting, actually. Mausoleum of White is kind of useful sometimes because it turns Valor into an extender. You know, you get an extra normal summon of a level 1 like tuner with this field spell. So it's actually coming up pretty often that I'll just use that normal summon to achieve a slightly better board with the normal summon of Valor. Sometimes it might be better to just keep it for the interruption, but it has come up where it's just an extender essentially. So anyway, here we link away our Collapse Serpent and oh, whoops, sorry, I had pause. Go into a Striker Dragon. Collapse Serpent is going to trigger. I can add to my hand the Wyver Burster, banish the Collapse Serpent, go Wyver Burster into Pisty. Pisty can target my Red Eyes, my Blue Eyes, sorry, Spirit with Eyes of Blue, whatever. And okay, I just want to point out here, I'm making a second Hieratic Seal. I know this card isn't really useful. It's just because both Pisty and Spirit with Eyes of Blue lock you into only special summoning dragons from the extra. So I'm just getting them off the field with a Link 2 dragon here so that I'm able to go into Appaloosa. And now here, I'm actually going to use my field spell to summon Valor just so I can keep my level 5 or higher dragon on the field so that on opponent's turn, I'm guaranteed to be able to Metalmorph, you know, as soon as possible without having to either commit to my Hieratic Seal summon or commit to my Druid Swarm landing on the field that I'm going to search in end phase. So here I'm actually going to use the field spell, summon Valor, use Valor Striker and that extra Hieratic Seal, make a 3-material Appaloosa, makes it so I can keep my level 5 or higher here, pass turn, get to search a Druid Swarm. Then we have a lot of interaction to play with on opponent's turn. This is essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 removals. Like, well, not removals, but 9 interactions essentially with the opponent or interruptions. So really, really good. Here I'm just going to shotgun Max Metalmorph since I can afford to with Druid Swarm in hand. But that's about it for kind of popping off with the deck. I mostly just wanted to show that the deck is actually like capable of setting up like solid, strong boards It's just not always going to be the case. It's more so similar to Blue Eyes in the sense that sometimes you're just going to opt to play a more mid-range, you know, play into some hand traps, set up a smaller, a more minimal board, and just kind of be content with that. And honestly, that's done really good for me with Blue Eyes in Master rank. I got a 10-game win streak in Master with Blue Eyes, and then I got a 5-game win streak a couple days ago to Master 1 with Blue Eyes, playing that style of more mid-rangey gameplay. I keep saying mid-range, mid-range, mid-range. So let's just say it again. Here's as mid-range as it gets, okay, for the Bystial Red Eyes one. After that, I promise we're going to go to the Fiendsmith Metalmorph version. But I just wanted to show, sometimes you just won't even see the Metalmorph engine, right? Like, this hand is really as mid-rangey as it gets. We have 2 Veilers, Ash Blossom, Called By, and Lublion. Like, we're obviously not setting up a crazy board off of this, but we do have a good amount of interruption regardless of what we set up. So we're going to go ahead and just go Lublion effect, you know, search our Serenir. And here's a little bit of sauce, okay? We can normal Veiler, go into our Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Listen, I'm telling you, man, this is a good card within the deck. The Mausoleum can come up sometimes. We go for Bystial Serenir, banish the Veiler, summon Serenir. That way we can tribute the Serenir, go for the Bystial Lublion, and we can send to the grave our Regained with Serenir, set up the Branded Beast with the Lublion or Lubellion, whatever you want to call that. I just like saying Lublion, to be honest. And we can go into our Hieratic Seals. In end phase, Branded Beast will set up Regained. We go for Mausoleum of White. I'm just going to explain that. The reason I activate Mausoleum of White here is because let's say your opponent were to shotgun Raigeki or something. Instead of having to bounce your face-up Branded Beast, you could change Hieratic Seal and just bounce your Mausoleum of White to guarantee you at least get a Bystial on the field, like a Druid Worm that you can remove with Branded Beast, for example, to send their stuff to the grave. But yeah, essentially here we're passing on 1, 2, 3, 4, and with Druid Worm technically 5, and with Call By 6 interruption. It doesn't look impressive, but 6 interruption is a lot, and all these cards are super relevant and likely to come up. Plus, we get the Regain, which can draw into more cards, and our deck has a lot of hand traps, so we might even draw into even more interruptions with the Regained. So here they go, you know, for the bike. I'm just going to Ash the bike. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Ash the bike, since I have Called By, they go Wakaushi like we did earlier. We go for, you know, Seals, bounce the Wakaushi. Then we get Seals effect, summon the Magnamut. I want some follow-up. You know, I want to search my Black Metal Dragon for turn 3. They pass here. They don't have any more plays. Well, that's perfect. I had more interruption if I needed to, but it seems like I didn't. I go for Black Metal Dragon goes Striker. We get the effect of Black Metal, add the Red Eyes Darkness banish the Striker, shuffle back the Striker to get a draw off Regain, summon the Lublion, go for Black Metal, and just like that, we already have lethal on the field because we can equip our second Black Metal, and we just get up to enough attack to just win the game right there. So, you know, even on turn 3, this deck will not struggle at getting to lethal. Here I wanted to show me getting to lethal before 5 summons, for example, you know, to like play around Nibiru and stuff like that. So even in the most mid-range of cases, I think this deck should be solid enough. Keep in mind, this is not like a nerfed Super Heavy Samurai deck. In this simulator, Super Heavy Samurai is basically at the full power it was at in Master Duel back in the day. So yeah, you know, those little interruptions did enough to stop it. Now we're going to move on to looking at the Fiendsmith Metalmorph deck. I'm sure a lot of people wanted to see that, so let's just get into it right away. So I'm just going to start with the Illusionist, or like basically a 2-card combo. This combo can be done with Illusionist plus access to any level 6, essentially. Here we're doing it with Metal Illusionist plus a Serenir, but yeah, there's a lot of different ways to get this combo in the deck. So here we go. We're going to go normal summon Metal Illusionist. Metal Illusionist make itself Fiend. Well, no, we said Metalmorph first, and then we make itself Fiend. Then we can go into Fiendsmith Requiem. We can go for Requiem, you know, tribute itself, summon out the Engraver, go for Serenir, banish the Illusionist, use these 2. You go into a Ptolemy. The reason you do this is because you can detach Engraver, add it back to hand, and then discard the Engraver, right? And that way you can search your Tract, and it helps you get a little bit of extra gas. So you can go for Fiendsmith Tract, search the Lurie. Of course, you discard the Lurie. Then Lurie can special summon itself from the graveyard. So now with these 2, we can go into Fiendsmith Sequence, activate the Serenir, send to the grave a Lublion. Here we can, you know, shuffle back a couple of cards, go for Lacrima. Lacrima effect, special back the Engraver. Then we can go for the graveyard effect of Tract. Use all these dudes, and we can go into a Fiendsmith Desiree, go Sequence, equip it to Desiree, and we just set our imperm. So this is very minimal. Keep in mind, this is without extenders, and you can definitely get way crazier boards with this deck. But let me just explain what we have here, because it's more than it seems, okay? So of course, Fiendsmith Desiree is an omni-negate that can negate 2 cards on the field. We have 2 interruptions from just our hand traps that we had access to, so we have Imperm and Ash. But also, Max Metalmorph can tribute Desiree to summon the Metal Zoa from the deck. Metal Zoa then has the quick effect of popping 2 cards when your opponent, well, if your opponent activates anything, right? It's twice per turn, so that's 2 more interruptions. And when you use the Max Metalmorph sending Desiree to the grave, Desiree can shuffle a Light Fiend into the deck to send any card on the field to the graveyard. So that's another interruption. So really, we're looking at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interruptions, like off of this very minimal setup. And keep in mind, with gas, you get a lot more. So it's really, really good, even this minimal setup here. So we pass on the Fiendsmith Desiree. You know, they go for Bike, whatever. It's always the same, basically. They go for Waka Ushi. We go for Desiree to negate the Waka Ushi here. Then they summon, you know, their Soul Piercer. We just Ash the Soul Piercer. Then afterwards, we go Metalmorph, you know, sent to the grave to summon out the Metal Zoa. We get the graveyard effect of our Desiree. So Desiree triggers in the grave, shuffle back the sequence. We can send to the graveyard their Waka Ushi. Then they activate another Waka Ushi. We get the Chain Metal Zoa, pop a monster they control as a quick effect. And we can still do this once more this turn, but they end up passing. We still have our Emperor, and we still didn't need to use it, you know. So we still had 2 more interruptions there. Here I draw into Magnamut, and dude, the follow-up turns are crazy with this deck because of the engine, you know, the Fiendsmith engine having crazy recursion. The follow-up turns are just nutty, you know. You can bring back your Engraver, go for a Requiem, here activate Magnamut, you know, summon Magnamut there. Then we're going to go for Requiem, summon Engraver, go for Requiem, equip it, and we already have lethal, so I don't even need to like pop off like crazy here. But if I didn't get lethal, let's say, then I could go for Lube Lion, set up Regain, use these 2, go into sequence, and just make another Desiree, shuffling back 3 here, you know, make another Desiree, equip it, you know, summon Fulos, make an SP here. SP could banish their back row. Then I could go Regain, shuffle back, get a draw, and then we could equip the sequence, you know, to our Desiree. And just like that, we have 2 Omni Negates, we have a quick effect banish, we have 2 quick effect pops, we have Call By, Imperm still for like follow up on a super tiny board. This is a lot of stuff, a lot of interruption coming back on the field. So now we're gonna go and move on to just a full pop off with this deck, just fully popping off here. I'm definitely gonna be pressing a bit too many buttons. I'm more so just trying to show you how much the engines can do together, as opposed to, you know, just showing you like, oh, this is like the optimal combo. So here we're going to go for Lube Lion, grab the Magnamut. We normal summon Black Metal Dragon in this case. We did not have Illusionist. Black Metal is still good. We can go for Striker. Then we get the effect of Black Metal, search the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, banish, summon the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, bring back the Black Metal Dragon, go into a Hieratic Seal. Then we can go for Black Metal Dragon effect to grab our Black Full Metal, go Bystial Magnamut, tribute to summon the Lube Lion, set up Regain, go for Fiendsmith Tract, grab Lurie, discard, Lurie special summon itself from the grave, go into a Requiem, summon out the Engraver. Then we can go for a sequence, activate the sequence here, shuffling back 3 to summon a Desiree. I forgot I had Tract. I could have done this in a way that gave me a bit more advantage, but it's still fine. Here we go for the, you know, the in-hand effect of our Black Full Metal, and we set up the Max Metalmorph. Now, on opponent's turn, I basically had 2 choices, right? I could go for Hieratic Seal, summon a Bystial, like a Bystial Druistorm, for example, send the Druistorm to the grave with the Max Metalmorph, and summon the Omni Negate, which is Black Full Metal Dragon, or I could do what I did in the other one and just tribute the Desiree to summon the Metal Zoa and get 2 more interruptions, but instead they're just quick effect pops, essentially, on top of Max C and Called By, of course. So grab a Druistorm in end phase with the Magnamut. Now, I know the turn 1 board doesn't look as crazy. It's on turn 3, really, that I show you just the insane amount of gas that this deck can get into in the grind. So we summon out the Sereneer here. You know, they're going to summon that. We're going to go for Regained, bring back. We're going to go for Druistorm, banish to special summon Druis. And then I'm going to get myself a shuffle back and a draw. We're going to go for Maxi before they link summon. They go into a Soul Piercer. We get to draw again, go Called By on the Soul Piercer. And at this point, you know, there's a good amount that we can do if we want to. We don't need to, really. We're just going to go for Desiree, negate what they have on the field, go for full Metalmorph, max Metalmorph, I mean. Summon the Metal Zoa. They're going to activate something here. We're going to get to pop their links just like we did earlier. Then they go to end phase. We get to add back our Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to the hand. And I can, you know, banish the Serenir, shuffle back the Serenir, get a draw, tribute my Magnamut, bring it back to get its effect again with the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, make a 4-material Appaloosa, normal summon Metal Illusionist, set my other trap, go for Sengenjin, pay 2,000, grab the Golem, pay 2,000, summon the Golem, grab the Wedju Temple, place Fuelos as well as Sengenjin from my deck into the back row, go into a Fiendsmith Requiem, banish, send those two to the grave to summon the Doom Dragon and go into a Photon Lord. We can go for the Requiem again, summon Engraver, use these two, go sequence, you know, shuffle back a couple of cards, make Lacrima can then special summon back our Desiree. Then we can use these two to make a Nightmare Unicorn, discard a card, bounce their card, then we can, you know, use the Lacrima effect, shuffle to, you know, we get to do a lot here. Here again, I'm just pressing buttons. It's kind of just like showing you just how much gas you have, how much stuff you can do, you know, on the crackback on turn 3. So yeah, if you make it through turn 2, the odds are you're not losing turn 3 basically. And making it through turn 2, it can be daunting, but honestly, I feel like mid-range is quite good, especially with the very strong options that this deck has. So I think this is going to be a really popular and really strong engine. Not exactly sure where it's going to end up like on the tier list, but I definitely think it's something that people are going to mess with and that you're going to see all the way up in high master. So yeah, I'm super excited for it. Feel free to copy the lists if you're interested. Sorry if I was kind of rambly in this video. I'm trying to get it out like pretty quickly and get some sleep before the pack comes out, because I'm still going to try to do the Goblin Hour stream despite having been sick for a couple of days. I'm starting to feel a lot better. So yeah, all right, see ya.